Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
In continuation of our previous lectures, now we will be talking about that is what are the challenges in the development, and this is including the analysis of organizational development needs, appraisal of this present management talent, and the inventory of management manpower. So, first we will take the analysis of the organizational development needs. In the adaptation to the industry evolution in HRM refers to the ongoing adjustment of HR strategies and practices in response to the changes within the industry and the broader economic environment. We have seen that is the HRM has developed from the personal management to the human resource management to the HRD to the talent acquisition and talent management and human capital. So, this journey which is we are talking about these HR strategies which have kept on changing. So, their first when the orientation of HR we were talking about, then the orientation was about more on personal management and the time office and administration and IR industrial relations and with the period of time in the 1960s to 70s, then the ASTD model, that is American Society for Training Development model, has been developed and that model has created this particular development of the HRD, where we are talking about the individual development, career development and organization development. With the period of time, the strategies and practices which has kept on changing because of the business environment requirement is there. So, it was not earlier that there was a concept that is it is the man behind the machine, and now we are talking about that is the machine is governed by the human being. So, in era of the artificial intelligence, again the HR is emerging with the new strategies. This is the crucial for the maintaining the organizational competitiveness and responsiveness to the market dynamics are there. Now, as technology evolves, then the HRM must adopt by the implementing the new tools and platforms for the recruitment, performance management, employee engagement, training and development, compensation and award system, industrial relations and all other functions. All these functions they are having this concern with the development of the technology, and this includes the embracing the digital transformation such as the AI. Now currently we are talking about for the talent acquisition and using the data analytics for the strategic decision making is concerned. So, therefore, in that case, as we are going for this particular era of the technology in the circular economy, where we are making the more and more use of the AI, but this AI will not be, the transformation will not be complete unless and until we involve the talent acquisition. These HRM practices must evolve to address the changing demographics of the workforce, including the aging populations, increasing diversity and the varying employee expectations are there. Now, in the particular aspect of when we are talking about the demographics, like we take the example of the India, then India is the youngest country which is the having these demographics of the average age of between the 35 to 35 is there. Most of these reports are giving this, that is between 35 to the 38 years of the average age of the Indian population. When we are talking about the Japan, and then that is Japan is facing the issue of the aging populations are there. In both the cases, whether it is a young country or it is the aging country, then in both the cases we find that is the technology, role of technology that is changing to serve the mankind in these countries, and varying employees expectations are also there. And earlier the value system and the employee retention and employees turnover, were the major issues. But nowadays when we are talking about this particular the employee expectations, so employee expectations is not concerned with the employee retention, rather than the career development and career growth is the taking the priority over the retention is concerned. We have to also understand, like in the education system we are going for the balancing the gender diversity. So these increasing the diversity, which is also affecting the HR policies to accommodate the flexible work arrangements. Earlier I remember that is the women workers, women employees were not allowed to work after the sunset and before the sunrise. But now with the changes in the laws and the nature of industries, because when you are talking about the IT industries as compared to the manufacturing industries, then in India itself number of women workers are working in the evening shifts. So this flexible work arrangement because of this gender diversity that has been also accommodated, and the HR policies are designed accordingly. Earlier we were talking about the safety of the women employees that was related to the fencing machineries, right. Now we are talking about the safety aspects of the working hours and their protection at the workplace. So this diversity and inclusive initiatives I have tailored benefits can help attract and retain a diverse talent pool. Now when we are talking about these different diversity, including the workforce diversity and the basis of this gender diversity, when we are talking about the age, when we are talking about these the value system, HR systems into the organizations, then definitely these are attracting to the talent only when your policies, HR policies, they are highly relevant and they concern with the demographic variables and of the maybe the age, gender or the economic status. These industry evolutions making the changes into the industry regulations and laws continuously, and as I mentioned earlier, that is these labor laws. In India now the labor laws converted into the labor code, and then in that case this particular code, that is the taking care of whatever the changes have been evolved during this industry development, maybe from the manufacturing industry, maybe from the service industry, and HRM must adopt to these changes to ensure the compliance is there. And we have to also understand that is these changes into these the manpower workforce diversity, this will be also have to include the understanding and implementing the changes related to the labor laws, health, safety and data protection standards, and simultaneously the welfare and the well-being of the employees. So therefore the HR changes which will be providing these facilities, the rewards, the incentives, the pay, salary. So all these standards they are the HR has to include and understand for in the current adoption of the industry. Now the cultural and societal shifts often reflect the changing attitude towards the work-life balance is there. Nowadays we are talking about the work-life enrichment. Earlier the focus was either only on the work or it was only on the family, and now with the evolving time we have understood a balance is required. So when you are at the work you have to focus on the work, when you are into the family you have to focus on the and take care of the family. So that balance will be only possible when we are making the HR policies which are supporting to the employees so that is the enrichment is there. Naturally, there are the number of studies have been seen which are talking about the more you are providing the work-life balance to your employees, better will be the productivity and the performance. Now, this is the corporate responsibility where they have to maintain these the high demanding jobs are there. As you go and higher into the ladder and the top positions, so then you find that is your corporate responsibility is not only for the one section but it is expanding. So you can't say that is the my responsibility is limited, so that is becoming the unlimited. So in that case it is becoming very important that we have to understand corporate responsibility is increasing. When corporate responsibility is increasing, then in that you have to find out that is the if you want your employees to be the follow the organizational ethics also. So, these all challenges and changing in the business environment, they needs HR needs to adopt by promoting a culture. Now, every organization is having the different culture is there. So, but that culture which is for the organization is known. Like for example, when we talk about the Tata companies in India, which are the actually the multinational global company, and which is developing a culture, and that is a social culture, a well-being culture, and that aligns with these the values which are the Tata group is carrying. And in this case, that is the support and well-being of the employees is the first priority. And therefore, in that case, this potentially revising the mission statements, ethic guidelines, and the corporate social responsibility policies, so that that is the focus can be on the more and more towards the human values. So, this will making the better alignment with the competency and the societal values. There are number of companies which are carrying this type of these practices where they are focusing more on the social help or social the work where they are promoting the social values of the working togetherness. Whenever we are talking about these particular aspects with the changes in the industry, then we can easily understand with this particular case study where the Technocraft Industries, a mid-size software company, has traditionally focused on the desktop software solutions. However, the trend in the tech industry is shifting towards cloud-based services and artificial intelligence technologies. To align its strategic goals with these trends, the company decided to pivot the developing the artificial intelligence driven cloud software, and where this required a shift in resources towards hiring AI specialists and training existing staff in a cloud computing technologies. And this is a wonderful example when we are talking about that is it is an era of artificial intelligence, and naturally in that case the organizations which are hiring the more and more AI specialists, naturally when you this particular requirement of the AI specialist, then definitely there is a required of the providing the training for the existing staff, and you have to redesign and reschedule about the compensation and HR policies. The strategic goal was updated to include the capturing a 50% market share in the AI software market within the next 5 years. And therefore, every organization which is making a business goal and a target, that is they want to capture more and more market share, then thereby necessitating the substantial internal development and the requirement of the new talent specializing in AI and the cloud services. This situation is common for the most of the organizations nowadays, where because of these AI the entered into the businesses, and then for the competitiveness, the organizations are required to adopt the AI software, and they have to develop their manpower so that they can make their market share is better. So, therefore, this recruitment of the new talent specialization in the AI is concerned. So, this particular aspect shows that is the how do current industry trends and technologies advancements influence our organization's strategic goals. So, whatever has been discussed above that is address the issue, that is the in the current the looking to the demographic variables of the employees, looking to the artificial and technological demands and advancements, the HR policies are required to be reframed. The second part, which is the very important, that is about the skill gap analysis, and the skill gap analysis is used by the organization to identify the difference between the skills that the workforce currently possess and the skills required to achieve the organization's goals. Here I would also like to mention that is this as an academic institute, the IIT Roorkee is also highly focusing on this the filling of this skill gap under the new education policy, and therefore we have to understand that is what are the current processes and the skills are required, and most of the time we are finding out that is it is a technological skills which are required in addition to the managerial skills which are required to achieve the organization's goals. This analysis helps in pinpointing the specific areas of improvement. For example, when we are talking about the packaging styles, then in that case that is the skills required for the packaging is concerned. When we are talking about the e-commerce, then the e-commerce business, it becomes very important. There the manpower which is hired, which may not be the in fact the regular worker and the gig workers. When we are talking about these gig workers, then definitely it is required to achieve the organization's goals, they should be properly trained, and this analysis helps to pinpointing the specific areas of the improvement is there. As I given the example, like in e-commerce industry, this packaging is becoming a very important aspect. This is ensuring that the training and development initiatives are aligned with the strategic objectives of the organizations are there. These alignments with these organizational aspects where they are going into the more and more the service industries. They are focusing on this type of these technology where they can support to make their competitiveness. So, how to identify the skill gap into the desired skills and the existing skills. So, this enhances of the competitiveness. So, we understand what our competitors are doing, and therefore, in that case I always give the example of the Maruti versus the Hyundai is concerned, and then we find that is the use of the AI then is having the different level differences. So, if competitiveness is ensured, then the employees have the necessary skills to respond effectively to changes in the market or the industry. Unless and until the changes will not be there, then definitely it will be important that is the organizations, they will not be making the success. Second, another gap analysis, which is the improve the employee retention by investing in the career development, which I had talked earlier. But here we have to also understand that is this employee retention is nowadays a very big challenge. Rather than whatever the employees are working with you, then we should take the maximum their output as much as possible, because the time period for the retention that the young generation is not ready to increase. And therefore, if we are improving our employee retention by investing in their career development, which may be affecting their job satisfaction and loyalty, but here the threat is that is in the current demographic variables, how much it will be applicable. This skill gap analysis facilitates the better succession planning by these preparing employees. As I mentioned, that is the employee retention is becoming the big challenge, and therefore here the succession planning is to be kept ready, because you never know, the one fine morning you are the best employee may resign, and therefore there should be a person who will be having the successor who will be ready to take that charge. So, this preparing the employees for the future roles and responsibilities within the organization, that will be also the skill gap analysis helping you for the preparation of the succession planning. The challenges in implementations are the difficulty in accurately defining the skill requirement and the measuring the current capabilities. Now, here I would like to mention about the World Economic Forum report, and therefore, when we talk about the new jobs, and new jobs are more and more of the skill oriented is there. Here this particular challenge for the implementation is there to understand what are the skills requirement will there. So, suppose I talk about the skill requirement up to next 2030, then in that case we have to change all our the technological training development programs, and accordingly the manpower has to develop. The future goals, if identified properly by the organization, then this challenge we can meet. The potential resistance from the employees. Now, we know that is change management itself is a big task, and therefore this potential resistance will be there from the employees and because they are not ready. So, we have to prepare a generation. When the AI is introduced into this the business world and our day-to-day routine rather, I would like to mention. Then in that case, this resistance to change, that mindset has to be changed by these the continuous education system, or by the making them the more and more understanding, that is the in the next 5 years and every 5 years, which seems to be that is the report which has been published by the government of India, which shows that is the growth by the 2747. Then in that case, the skills are required to be changed, the organizations and the whole nation, not only the organization, that requires to be prepared against this threat by the change of the processes are there. The nature of business, many nature of businesses are going to be the abolished, and the new business will be emerged. So therefore, ensuring the ongoing management support is required to the employees, and alignment with the broader strategies goals can be challenging. And here this importance of this alignment of these strategies with the future goals, that is the responsibility of the HR, and that can, with the skill gap analysis, we will be able to understand that is the how HR, in which direction HR is likely to work for the hiring and training and development for them to meet the organizational needs in the next 5 years. Here I would like to take a support of this particular case study, that is the Green Tech Solutions, an emerging player in the renewable energy sector, recognized a gap in their capabilities, particularly in the project management and the advanced data analytics. The crucial for managing the large scale solar panel installation and optimizing energy productions. Now here we have to very good example, we have to understand that is the in the project management and the advanced data analytics. I would like to talk about the management education, and in management education we are teaching this type of these the subjects related to the project management and business environment and so and so. But important is this, that is the whenever we are talking about the specific nature of industry, and the specific nature of industry, in even though it is a project, but then it requires a special skill set. So to address these needs, they conduct a skill audit that reveal different deficiencies in the technical project management and the predictive analytics. Now the past practices whatever we are having, naturally that will not be suffice. So therefore in that case it is required we have to identify what are the deficiencies are there in these technical projects, and then we have to predict, that is whatever this the possibility is there. The company then initiated a targeted recruitment drive coupled with a series of professional development workshops designed to upskill existing employees. Here this type of initiatives which are taking care to develop this professional development of the employees through by designing the different workshops, naturally in that case our manpower that is getting the upgraded into the skills. These actions were part of a broader strategy to enhance the project delivery and efficiency, as the Green Tech aimed to double to project capacity by the end of the decade. This could have been possible because they are making their these skill gap analysis as a part of their HR functions, and then developing those HR manpower according to the need of the organization in the future. So this also answers, that is the what specific skills and competencies are we are lacking to meet our future business objectives. Every organization has to understand in the current scenario the skill gap analysis, and therefore the specific skills and the competencies which are required by the particular group of sections or the particular department or particular resources, then definitely in that case to meet this into the future, our manpower is to be developed, and then we are able to develop their manpower through this type of the training program, successions planning, then definitely in that case we can meet our future business objectives. Now here I would like to introduce, that is the integrating DEI, that is the diversity, equity and inclusion into the organizational strategy. So, this diversity, equity and inclusion in the context of HR involves developing the policies and practices that ensuring the fair treatment, that is the equity, and creating an environment where all employees feel valued and able to contribute, and that is the inclusion is there. So, therefore, whenever we are talking about this developing the policies and the practices which is having the diverse range of employees, that is a diversity which I have talked about, and this diversity is related to the maybe the gender diversity is there, or the age diversity or the economic diversity may be there, and therefore the balancing all these there what is required is that is we have to provide the equity, and then in that case it will be requiring that is the whatever these aspects are concerned related to the inclusion. And here this approach not only enhances the employee satisfaction and retention, but also drives innovation and serves a broader range of customer needs. So, integrating the DEI into the organizational strategy means embedding these principles at every level and aspects of the organization, from recruitment and onboarding to the performance evaluations. Now, we understand this is a complete procedure, where right from that is on board of the employees till to their performance and the growth and career developments are concerned. At every level this is important, that is the organizations which are going for this the process journey, that whole journey is to be integrated, and this ensures that the DEI, that is the diversity, equity and the inclusion, is not on a standalone initiative, but a core aspects of the organizations and integrating aspect and going towards the single direction about the operations and the strategic goals are concerns. Regularly assessing the organization's current DEI status through workforce demographics, employee surveys and other metrics is essential. These data should be used to benchmark against industry standards and to set the specific, measurable, achievable, relevant and the time bound, that is a SMART. And therefore, in that case when we are fixing about the specific target or goal, and then naturally that is the when it is the measurable, you can count on it, and it is practically possible to achieve it, then it is relevant for the organization and in a specific period of time, that is a SMART approach. And then definitely we will be able to attain the goals for the DEI improvements. Ongoing DEI training for all employees with specialized modules for the HR and management teams is crucial. Training program should focus on unconscious biasness, culture competence and inclusive leadership. This equipping the employees with the tools they need to contribute to a DEI focused culture is there. This organization must hold leaders and employees accountable for the DEI goals through transparent reporting mechanisms and performance evaluations that include the DEI related metrics. And this could involve integrating the DEI objectives into the personal development plans and linking them to compensation and promotion decisions to reinforce the importance of these efforts are concerned. Finally, I would like to take a case study in this particular DEI aspects. That is a Luke Fashion Group, a global retail company, recognized that its consumers base are incredibly diverse, yet this was not reflected in its workforce or the management team. The company initiated a comprehensive DEI audit, which highlighted several opportunities for the improvement, particularly in the leadership positions. In response, Lux implemented a diverse hiring initiative and leadership training focused on the inclusivity and the cultural competence. They also established the mentorship programs targeting unprecedented groups within the company, and these measures aim to not only mirror the diversity of their market in their staff composition, but also to foster an inclusive culture that would drive innovative approaches in a competitive industry. And here is the answer for the concern or the questions that how do diversity, equity and inclusion, that is DEI, how these DEI factors into our organization development needs, and therefore it is very important whenever we are trying to match our manpower with the changing technological environment, especially with the AI applications, we have to create a diversity, equity and the inclusion aspects. I would like to take the next concern, that is about the structural reorganization for the enhanced flexibility. and this structural reorganizations in HR refers to the process of changing the organizational structure, roles and responsibility within a company to increase the agility and adaptability. I would like to take an example of this the GE and in the GE's organization, the Jack Welch, who has changed that is the how with the changes in the business environment the organization structure is to be changed. It is not only the organization structure, because when you change the organization structure, you change the organization culture also. So, as a result of which you find that is the there you are changing from the tall to flat structure, or when you are going for the structure which is going to be the narrow span, then definitely here you will be able to make these changes into the organization structure. This change with the change in the technology, naturally the manpower requirement will be different. Now, I would like to mention about the case study where this State Bank of India and where the technology was introduced earlier. And when technology was introduced, the organization structure has totally changed, and the organization structure has that has increased the number of these the branches, as a result of which the number of the employees, and now it has become the very popular and the number one bank of in government of India in India. So, therefore, in that case it is the changing of the designing, that is how you design your work organizations as per the demand. When we are talking about these artificial intelligence implementing of the technological changes and the manpower requirements. Many times in many businesses you will find the manpower is increased, especially in the service industry, because you are expanding. You are expanding not only to the limited geographical zone, but you are expanding to the global level. And when you are expanding to the global level, then definitely your organization structure will be changing. Now, if we talk about the multinational companies and we talk about the Asian head, that is a role and responsibility within a company, and then naturally when you are handling this business into the Japan or into the China or into the India or into the Korea, then or in Vietnam. So, then in that case your organization's the roles and responsibilities of the same designation will be changing, and within this increase there naturally when this shifting paradigm, and then in that case you are these what is required, your manpower is required to be the agile and adaptable. So, if you are talking about the changing the organization structure, naturally you are expanding in your business and then as a result your manpower, the HR that is required to be more and more competitive in the sense of these the agility and adaptability. I would also like to mention here that is those organizations which are more flexible, adaptable, and they are more productive, and this can involve these the flattening hierarchies which I mentioned, like the giving the example in these hierarchies of this the G, where he has converted that bureaucratic tall structure into the flat structure, and decentralizing the decision making is there, because every time as you are growing, every time you cannot ask for the your top management to give the guidance, and therefore that the decision making power which comes from the top to bottom, and is redefining the job roles to better align with the company's strategic goals, and this will be making to adopt a changing market conditions are there. So, all these aspects where you are talking about the expansion of business and the global creating the global businesses, then the changing the structure of the organizations, giving more empowering of your employees more with their these the decision making power, then definitely there the strategic goals and to have that has to be changed. One of the primary goals when we are talking about the structural reorganization for the enhanced flexibility, the primary goals of the structural reorganization is to enhance by redesigning the processes, and therefore, I mentioned about that is when we are talking about the designing of these work organization and then the structures, then the companies can respond more swiftly to industry changes. The whole organization is required to be the agile and adaptable. But the big challenge which we are talking about right from the beginning since last 2-3 sessions, and it is about the HR, because organization will become agile and adaptable only when the manpower is trained and is able to develop those particular skills. So therefore, these changes according to the customer needs and the technological advancement, it is a requirement. But to do this, this can be very difficult, but surely this agility can lead to the improved performance and the competitive advantage, and that is why in the struggle into the either to change and the survival, right. So therefore, there will be a period of the organization, that is how fast and flexible organization is. If the organization is fast and flexible to change, then it will not struggle for a long time, and if it will not struggle for a long time, then naturally the success is written. But if the organization is taking a lot of time, by the time the organization changes, again new changes or demands are coming. So, you are much behind than the what is desired. So, therefore, in that case, this flexibility and adaptability is requiring at very high rate and high space, so that then in only organizations can survive. This reorganization often leads to changes in employee roles and the responsibilities, as I mentioned, because the horizon will expand, and when horizon will be expand, the culture will be diversity culture, and the HR must ensure that these changes are clearly communicated and that employees are supported through the training and development opportunities. For small organization, this type of changes is okay, but when we are talking about the large enterprises, LEs, then definitely it becomes a big challenge, because the employees, those who are working top to the bottom level, they should synchronize into the change, and they have to understand that is this change is required. They should be capable enough to adopt, and they should be flexible enough in their mindset, and employees as this the training and development opportunities which will be provided, they should be faster in adopting, and this can help in minimizing the resistance and boosting the morale during the transitions, and therefore here they cannot resist, and that resistance will be go away with the period of the continuous efforts. Modern HR structural reorganization frequency emphasize the importance of the cross-functional teams, and therefore multi-skilled, multi-dimensional manpower is required, because when you are working into the cross-functional skills, you can't say that is I have this limited knowledge. So, your knowledge sphere, that is also expanding, and not only the knowledge, but your skills are also required to be expanded. When but you are having the skills, you are having the knowledge, but you have attachment to your old the job routine or job profile, then in that case it will be very difficult to change, making the changes into skills and the perspectives. So, therefore, that positive attitude is also required. This term brings together diverse skills and perspectives, and the fostering the innovative problem solving and reducing the silos within the organizations are there, and this is possible only when the employees are more flexible and adaptable. HR plays a critical role in forming these teams and facilitating their success. Now, this is a big crucial aspect or the task to HR manager to create a team. He has to understand, many times I have found that is the leaders, when they are making the team, they are not successful because the team is not having that basic DNA of the integration. And the basic integration, the DNA of integration means that is the flexibility, adaptability to in their attitude, in their personality, and if that is not there, even if you will put the formally, what HR will do? HR will put the formally to this type of the different types of the people together, but when we are talking about the making them to work togetherness, then in that case they plays a critical role in forming these teams and facilitating their success. So, what to do? To support a restructured organization, continuous learning and development are the crucial, and therefore that is why the learning organizations will be having that systems that promote the ongoing professional growth, adopting the training programs to meet the evolving needs of the organization and its workforce. And here it is important that is this focuses on the development that helps the ensure that employees remain competent and confident in their roles and changes. Here I would like to take this particular case study, and this is the Auto Advanced Motors, an automotive manufacturer, faced the challenges in rapidly responding to market changes due to its rigid hierarchical organization structure. To foster innovation and agility, the company reorganized into cross-functional teams with the greater autonomy. This shift was designed to enhance communication between departments such as the R&D and manufacturing. And now here with this particular case study, we would like to understand that is the in previous part I have mentioned about that is what is a solution. Solution is a cross functional team. When there will be the cross functional team, the organization will be have the continuous learning. Continuous learning is there, so adaptability will be faster. So here the in this particular shift is given that is the these R&D and manufacturing and sales facilitating quicker decision making and the innovation. So now the project team. Project team or the product team. So, that team is particularly for that project or a particular for that particular product. So, therefore, when we are talking about this type of these the aspects where we are making these project team where all the sales, finance, HR, marketing, operations all are within that particular project only. So, therefore, here the problems which will be raised or which will be issued by these manpower, then definitely those will be solved immediately because it is an integrated team. Integrated team will be making the much faster decision as compared to teams in the isolations. The company also introduced an internal innovation lab where the employees could pitch and develop new ideas with the executive support, significantly speeding up the prototype development process is there. Now, as many employees, as much brains. So, therefore, we have to take the best use of the brains, and here we will not say that is those who are not into this project team, they will not be part of this change management process. No, they can be also the change management process and there could be the executive support significantly speeding up the prototype development process is there. This shows the concerns in what way should we adjust our organization structure to better foster innovation and agility is concerned. Now, the organization structures which will be designed. Now, here we have to understand that is the basic requirement for the organization structure will be that is the delegations and departmentations. So, if you are having these different departmentations and then the number of employees which are reporting, or you are having that is what type of this span of management, and therefore, in that case you are having this particular span of management where you are covering the equal number of employees with the different empowerment. Now, this is very important, that is the your this tall structure or your this flat structure which you are going to implement or the change, then definitely the employees, those who are working with these particular aspects, they will like to say that is the whether they will going for these particular aspects of this finalization or not of this productivity and converting this organization more and more productive. So, therefore, by making these cross functional teams, there is one way where we can adjust our organizational structures for the better foster innovation and agility which is required with the period of changing of the time. The another solution is the adapting to new work environments refers to the process of adjusting to the different workplace cultures. As I mentioned, it is organizations are having these different workplace culture where the more focus is on the bindings of the employees, where more focus is on the production of these organization. So, these practices and dynamics that will be required to create a network environment. In HR development, this includes the understanding organizational goals, integrity with the new teams, and as we find that is you are making the cross functional teams, you are making this the production based team, you are making about the product based team, and these all new teams and learning new systems and technologies that is required to be faster. It's crucial for the maintaining the productivity and the job satisfaction in changing the business landscapes, and therefore it is important that is we are able to maintain this particular landscape which we are creating for the productivity of our new structure based organization. So HR plays a pivotal role in facilitating the adaptation by implementing the structured onboarding programs, providing training and development opportunities, and offering the support system like mentorship program is there. Nowadays we also talk about that is reverse mentoring, and the reverse mentoring is where these the younger employees and they are, because they are strong into the technology, and they are helping to the senior employees for the working with the AI or the artificial intelligence based the equipments. So therefore, this training and development opportunities, offering support systems and the mentorship, these efforts will be helping employees the assimilate the faster and more effectively, because whenever there is a problem, there is somebody, and therefore that will help me to work more effectively, and this reducing the turnover and enhancing the engagement, and as a result of which the employee engagement that will be enhanced, and the employee will be having the more commitment and involvement with the high level of energy, so that therefore he can cope up with the new work environment. This technological fluency is increasingly vital in the new work environment, and the HR must ensure that the employees are equipped with the necessary technical skills through regular training and updates. So there was a time where the techno managers were created, and when the techno managers were created, they were updating on the emerging technologies are there. Later on, it has been found that is most of the techno managers, they are forgetting about the technology, and they are becoming only managers, and therefore this big challenge that has to be faced, and we have to focus on the balancing the technology and management. Project management in software and industry specific technologies, they are integrated with this particular job. Adapting to a new work environment also involves understanding and integrating into the workplace culture. Now, the human beings, they are emotionally connected with the surroundings, and therefore that work culture, work environment which is created with in a different dimensions and aspects, we have to create a workplace culture. Culture is of the support. When you are creating a culture of the support, then definitely it is providing a sensitivity training, which is essential in the global or the diverse settings to foster an inclusive environment where all employees feel they valued and understood. HR should encourage a mindset of continuous learning and adaptability among employees, and this can be achieved through the career development programs and the initiatives that promote the lifelong learning. Adapting to the new environment is not a one-time effort, but a continuous process that requires flexibility, resilience, and a proactive approach to the career growth. Now, it is very interesting to note this point, that is the how long new environment will go. New environment will also have its lifespan, and therefore, maybe the 3 years, maybe the 2 years, maybe the 1 year. And therefore, with the faster the change of the technology, faster is the change of the work culture environment, or maybe the 5 years. So therefore, in that case, it will depend on the nature of organization and the technological and business environmental changes. So you have to continuously you should be able to adopt and making a continuous efforts that will require the flexibility and the resilience is there, because once you will be your original the matter of contribution that will remain same, only that you getting the influence by the environment, and therefore with the period of time, whenever you are making this step of the changes, you will be able to perform in a better way in a career growth. Here I would like to take this particular case study of this Vertex Communications, a communication from transmission to a hybrid work model in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. All of us know that is this the lot of research is going on, the understanding the pre-COVID, COVID and the post-COVID processes. This is the particular example which is giving us to understand, that is the how this COVID has affected the business organizations, and business organizations how they are going to cope up with this new COVID era. As this model became a long-term arrangement, the company needed to assess its impact on productivity and employee satisfaction. And naturally, every organization would like to make the organization stable. And to make this stable, they will look towards the that is a company that should create with the same environment for a maximum period of time, not long period of time, maximum period of time in a given situation. So, therefore, this model becomes a long term arrangement. The company needed to assess its impact on productivity and the employee satisfaction. An internal survey revealed that while productivity remained stable, employees expressed concern about the career progression. So, therefore, the job satisfaction, job centricity, job contribution, that might be the 100%, but does not mean that is the it will be the employee will not express his concern. So, there an internal survey that is the talks about the while productivity remains stable, employees express their concern about career progression. So, they are looking for the growth, and when you are making them or fitting them into the one environment to the another environment, then definitely in that case it will be required, that is the how you are taking care of them. And naturally, the first and foremost priority of such type of employees, and that will be about the career progression and team cohesion in a hybrid setting. Now, in the case of this, there are so many shuffles and reshuffles are there. So, when the shuffles and reshuffles are there, the teams are changed. So many employees, those who are working together, now they have been separated and they have been into the another team, and this team has created the new team, and as a result of which this team cohesion that will be affected. But very interestingly, what we have discussed above is that is about the organization culture. Organization culture will play a very important role. So, what happened, that is in response, the Vertex developed a series of initiatives including the virtual career development workshops and therefore regular virtual team building exercises and a clear policy on remote work expectations. Those have been created because these were the challenges, and these challenges were resolved with the help of the virtual career these workshops, and these were educating them, making them understanding, working with each other, because the all were joining, and therefore they were trying to understand each other's aspect, and therefore these virtual team building exercises, they played a very important role, and a clear policy on the remote work expectations that was created, and the measures aimed to maintain the benefits of remote work while addressing the challenges related to the employee engagement and the career development. So, these particular remote work places where during the COVID and their new teams have been formed, they are the virtual teams and they were addressing the different the type of the challenges because the employee, they were finding difficulty in engagement because they were working from home, and when some of the organizations where the employees have come from home, they were also find difficulty because they were used to work from home. So, their engagement level in all the aspects that has been changed, and now to make that engagement level trigger, the HR plays a very important role, because unless and until HR will not play the trigger role, then definitely there will not be the any career development. So, creating of that culture like this Vertex developed a number of the career development workshops are there. So, therefore, people should not feel that is their growth is restricted. So, creation of the virtual workshops, that becomes a culture, and therefore, employees they will feel comfortable, and many of them employees they have been found that is this type of the workshops they are making them to work in the cross cultural team, and the new aspects are the post COVID era is concerned. So, this particular case study and this cross cultural team and flexibility and adaptability is answering the question, that is the what are the long term impacts of the remote and hybrid work models on our organizational needs are there. Now, we have to also understand this particular Vertex company's example which has been given, and that they have talked about, that is the COVID-19 aspects. But whenever we are talking about the organization's functioning, they are going for this type of the technological changes, or they are going for the production manufacturing process methods are changing, and naturally the cross cultures will be there. So, lot of work has been done on this the cross cultural functions, and it has been seen that there is those employees, those who are highly flexible, adaptable and productive, those employees, they are becoming the faster performer as compared to the those who are the not that flexible or adaptable are there into the organization. Organizations need this particular the style of this the development of the manpower where they can work agile manpower is there. The another research which is going on in this type of the issues are, that is about the resilience is there. So, resilience will be the creating this mindset of the employees more productive, and the HR aspects you are concerning is shown to the employees, then definitely in that case the employees will be also more cooperative and supportive and creating the more productions and support to the organization. Ultimately, it becomes very important, that is the with the period of changes, whenever the changes are taking place, you have to understand, that is you have to manage the change, you have to bring the main machine, material, money, method and minutes togetherness, and then only in that case in the given cross cultural environment employees will be still feel the better and they will be able to deliver. It may be the technological aspects or it can be the social aspects of making the team, but the team will be able to perform only when they are comfortable with the providing those workshops like this. The company has provided, the online workshops are provided, and therefore they can refer it there at the least time, and then they are able to give the results. This is all about that is the how we are talking about, that is the creation of the cross culture or the hybrid work models for the any organization which is the need of the time because of the socio technological changes. Now, we will talk about the adaptation to the technological change, because we have seen that is the current challenge which is the for the HR department is facing is making the use of the AI in a positive way. So, adaptation to technological change refers to the process by which an organization's HR department updates and enhance its policies, practices and capabilities in response to the evolving technology landscape. This is a crucial for maintaining the competitiveness, improving the efficiency and ensuring the employee satisfaction and productivity also. So, this is covering from both the sides, from the employer side also and from the employee side also. When we are talking about this adapting the technological change, it also supports for the job satisfaction to the employees, and therefore, in that case ultimately the production of these organization, overall efficiency, effectiveness of the organization, that also increases. So, HR must engage in strategic planning to forecast the technology trends and their potential impacts. Now, we have to plan as a HR manager, HR executive, that is the what are the future technologies that we have to understand, because whatever the changes we are going to make into the technology, that we have to see the life cycle of that particular technology. So, therefore, when we talk about the T4, T5, then naturally in that case the technological management aspect that will be also important, and here the potential impact that will be having on the changes of technology and the working style, it will naturally affect the workforce of the employees. This includes identifying the skill gaps, that is a current skill gap. So, when we talk about the technology yesterday, today and tomorrow, then naturally in that case yesterday the skills were different, today the demand of the skills are different, and naturally the tomorrow, that is in the future, the technology, the demand will be different. Now, the skills which are to be developed, that is we have to understand the future technological developments and the requirements of the manpower who will be having these particular skills. these skill gaps and integrating the technology focused strategies are to be there. Unless and until the HR department does not integrate the need of these the skill development of the manpower of the organization, and simultaneously understanding and introducing the technology which will be the demand of the time in the future. So, HR has to make the HR planning accordingly, which will be naturally helping him to adopting the new technologies. When we talking about this type of those training and understanding the future need or the developments of this technology, then we are required to develop a continuous learning amongst the employees, and that is the I remember during the economic recession the Infosys has started with the bench management, and therefore in the bench management they have trained their employees during bench management timings for the future requirement and whatever the future projects will be there. So, this type of the continuous learning and these developmental initiatives of the manpower to meet the future technological demand are essential for equipping the workforce with the necessary skills. Now, here we have to also understand that there will be the resource challenges, and therefore, to handle the new technologies it will be very important that is the HR department should facilitate the regular training sessions. To provide these training sessions, naturally the HR department will require the expertise people, those who are already having the knowledge of this particular skill, and therefore has to organize the workshops for their employees so that they can focus on emerging technologies relevant to the businesses there. Many times it has been observed that is the employees they are mostly occupied, busy, or the focus only on the current job, and they do not have that vision to understand that what will be the future requirement and developing their skills for the future, and that will be a big challenge for the HR. So, making the promotions of the workplace culture that will be creating the continuous learning culture. So, learning organizations, whenever we are talking about the learning organizations, then definitely in that case we talk about that is the how these changes which are the embracing changes, because suddenly you come to know that is the technology which you are using now for your organization, that is going to be the obsolete very shortly. So, therefore, these changes will to be seen by the HR department in advance and they have to develop that innovation or practices so that they can develop that type of the skill developments programs and they focus on the HR development. So, this will be here the role of the HR becomes very vital and lead to the encouraging the open communication about the technological changes. The technology life cycle which is the supporting for the performance of the employees. We have to also understand that is these technological changes are good for business, because when you want to bring the business into the profit, then naturally your cost of these the production cost of your services, that has to be reduced, and that can be easily done with the help of the technology. So, therefore, these technological changes and then also communicate about the supporting, because when you will say or introduce that new technologies which are the demand in future into the organization, there will be resistance and resistance to change, and therefore, in that case this changing style that will require the supporting and the risk taking, and organization should have that particular culture of continuous learning and recognizing and rewarding. So, therefore, these innovative ideas and the adaptation among the employees, it becomes faster. Unless and until you do not develop that particular culture where the employees are always ready to learn. So, if they are not ready to learn, they will not be ready to change, and as a result of which you will be working with the old technologies, and as a result the company you will lose your competitiveness. So, as technology changes can be challenging for the employees, HR should actually support them through these transitions. Now, these particular transitions, here I would also like to mention about that is we have to focus. We have to focus on the change process, because first is we understand that there is a change is required, but the second is making the changes, and that making the changes by the HR department, that will be very challenging, and should HR in that case because the employees will feel unstable, they will get disturbed, and therefore, they will see their future is also not that bright. So, in that case the HR should actively support them, and through these transitions they should develop the manpower, and if they have focused early, then in that case naturally if they are earlier this particular vision, that will minimize the stress among the employees during this transition phase. This includes providing the clear communication about the changes, that is why we are doing changes, what are the changes are required, who will be the people who will be getting the affected by these particular changes, what will be the HR aspect of these changes, and offering the emotional and technical support, because many employees, those who are working from the last long time, then in that case naturally they will find it difficult to change themselves according to the new technology and make the use of the technology, and therefore this emotional disturbance that will require the emotional support. Simultaneously the changes in the skills, the technological skills, and that support is also to be required from the HR department, and the HR department should ensure that there are the robust feedback mechanisms. Many people will find many difficulties in doing this particular change in nature of jobs, and therefore in that case there should be a proper understanding. Every organization is having the different levels of employees, those who are technologically strong. So, here it will become their robust feedback mechanism, that is when they are going through the employees, when they are going through this particular change, then their feedback is very important in transition process, so that the HR can plan to make a smooth transition. So, to address the concerns and suggestions from the employees, and the HR department can take the suggestions from those employees also, those who are getting affected by these particular changes. Here I would like to take a case study as an example, and at Digital Age Media, a leading digital marketing firm, the management team primarily excelled in the traditional marketing strategies, but lacked expertise in the latest digital technologies. Now, many of you already might be reading about and studying about the digital marketing, and therefore, when we are talking about digital marketing, the manpower that is required to be trained. In this particular case study also we are talking about, that is how digital marketing changes they are affecting a firm. So, employees in the traditional organizations, long sustainable organizations, it becomes very difficult to change their traditional marketing practices to come to the digital marketing, and but lack expertise in the latest digital technologies, and therefore, when you talk about the current technology of AI driven analytics and the automated marketing platforms, yes, young generation is studying that, they are going to be developed in this particular direction, but naturally those who are the old employees, they will find it very difficult to work on these platforms. So, recognizing this misalignment, because your employees are working since so many years, but now they cannot adopt this new technology very fast. The HR department initiated a technology training program designed to immerse the manager in the latest digital tool, and the platform is there. This support by the HR department, that is for the developing that particular training program, which will be helping them to adopt the design managers in the best digital tools, and therefore, when you are having that these digital tools, then your competitiveness of your employees will be increasing. So, in this organization the program included hands-on workshops, seminars, partnership learning with the technical firms, and the attending the industry conferences. These initiatives aim to enhance the manager's ability to drive the strategies that align with the current technological trends, thereby maintaining the company's competitive edge. As the employees were into that culture of developing themselves, so they were attending the workshops also, they were also attending the many technical firms to do the job, so that their skills can be improved, and therefore thereby maintaining the companies and their own competitiveness. Here they will also like to take the initiatives, that is what will be the HR strategies, because HR strategies should be much as I mentioned earlier, they should be quite supportive and very attractive, so that they will be aligned with the current technological trends are concerned. this particular case study and therefore address the issue about the how do our current managers skills align with the evolving market and technological landscape. So, with the help of this continuous training program, HR department making them aware about that what is the changes required and slowly not the overnight turning all the employees, rather than giving them time to develop, and therefore that current manager's skills that will be play a very important role making the technology marketing technological changes. Now, for these changes there is a requirement of the leadership development, and leadership development involves the systematic efforts designed by the human resources to enhance the skills, abilities and the knowledge of individuals. So, therefore, when we talk about the KSA, knowledge, skills and abilities of any individual, then definitely the leader plays a very important role, because he will be able to make this performance of the leadership very effectively, and it includes the training will be given, so that the employees, those who are old employees, they do not know the job, so they will be trained. Similarly, the mentoring will be done by these particular employees, those who are working under the senior person and those who are working under the technical engineers or supporters or the managers, those who will be the senior persons, and they will be keep on asking and supporting their juniors, and therefore the mentoring will be more effective, and the critical experience agreements that whatever these assignments are given to them, these will be aimed at developing the individuals who can guide and influence the others within an organization. Now, effective leadership development programs are closely aligned with the strategic goals. Now, if you want to make the leaders, those who will be able to bring those changes into the organization, so first leaders are to be developed, and therefore, when we talk about the development of these leaders, that will be aligning with the strategic goals of the organization. So, when you are focusing that is about the how you are going to develop this particular aspect, then in that case it will be very important, that is what is the organizational goal, and this organizational goal which will be by the leadership development. So, leadership development are the leaders role that will be playing a very important aspect, because they have to manage the that particular role to lead the organization and to achieve the organizational goals are there. And now, here are the your the employees, those who are working for a long period of time. So, these changes from these making these technological is a mediating, where you are making these particular technological changes and then developing these technological changes through the leadership development. Leader will be able to train these employees and as a result of which the organizational goals those will be achieved. So, it becomes very important, that is what type of employees you are having, and those employees skill level that will be making how you are going to affect these employees into the effective performance, and that will be possible only with managing these changes with the help of leadership development. And these leadership development programs will incorporate a mix of the formal education like the lecture rooms, that is the workshops and the seminars are there, but there is also need of the experiential learning, and unless like tutors, and therefore unless and until you are not having this these the practical aspect and the lab aspects such as job rotations, action learning projects, then definitely the leadership will not be developed, and always these are all are supported by the relationship building activities, mentoring and coaching is there. So, this whole combination bouquet for the workshops, seminars, experiential learning and these the mentoring and coaching, this holistic approach that will ensure that the political leaders and developing these particular aspects of the developing their efficiency of these leaders and developing their potential abilities in the future abilities. So, therefore, this will be making the technical, relational and the problem solving skills will be there. So, one side this whole leadership development program will be focused on developing the technological skills about those employees, those who are working since long. Simultaneously, it will be also helping this leadership development program to make developing the relations, because unless and until there will not be a team building or the bonding with each other, this change management will not be successful. But if you are making them that is how to make the relation development, how to develop their particular technical skills, that knowledge, skills and ability, that will be helping you to solve the problems. So, therefore, the problem solving skills will be developed. This leadership development is crucial for effective succession planning also. So, as I was saying, that is these old employees, basically they will be trained, but when we are talking about developing these another second set of the employees, so they will become the successor, and this we have to ensure that is because these will be the continuous changes. Technological changes will be continuous, and therefore, the continuous learning, and therefore, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, and these all of organization structure, that they should be have a continuous development, and always skilled and prepared individuals, and when they are ready to fill the leadership role as they become available, so then they will definitely contribute, and this is the critical for maintaining the continuity and achieving the long term organizational goals are there. Many organizations they initiate, they start, but either the participation is not that successful, or the participants are not motivated, or in the case they are not able to achieve their particular goal, then here it will be very difficult to make it a continuous process. So, it will be always critical for maintaining the continuity. So, HR department is required, that is that motivation, that learning environment, that is a skill development, that remains as a culture, and whenever it is a culture, so it becomes a routine practice, and therefore, the achieving the long term organizational goals, that should be the part of their practice or their working style. Now, the continual assessment of leadership development program is vital to their success, and you will get the feedback also, and from the feedback you will understand that what support is required, and to development of this techno managers, and therefore, that will be include the measuring the progress of the participants, whether they are able to use that particular technological skill after returning to their jobs against set objectives. And then if it is done, so naturally the impact of the leadership that will be going to taking to the high organizational performances is there. So, this feedback mechanism and adaptability in the program design are essential to cater to evolving the business environments. So, you just by doing the workshops, seminars, and giving them the lectures, it will not be enough. Practically, you have to see also that they are able to develop that particular skill, and it should not remain to the classroom only the training, and it goes to the field and in the practice. So, design are essentials to cater to evolving that business environment at the workplace is there, then only the individual's growth needs will be satisfied. Here I would like to take the another case study. So, the Bright Path Healthcare conducted an annual performance review and discovered significant gaps in the crisis management and strategic thinking among its senior managers are there. So, all of us know that is identifying the training needs. How do we identify the training needs? And training needs are mostly based on the performance appraisals, and the performance appraisal here which has been discussed is that is the crisis management, that is their managers are not that strong to develop their particular crisis management, and the strategic thinking among the senior managers are there. So, in response, the company partnered with a leadership development consultancy to create a customized training program, and whenever there is this customized training program is developed, then definitely whatever the on the basis of the feedback. So, then definitely they will be having the strategic thinking and development, and this program focus on the scenario based learning and the real world problem solving exercises are there. Many times the training programs they are having the lecture methods only, and there is no hands on experience. In this particular course you will find that is we are having I am with my colleague Dr. Abhishek, you will find that is how practically these skills they are required to be developed. So, therefore, when we are talking about the learning and the real world problem solving exercises, especially we have to design that will help us in the decision making under the pressure and strategic planning. The initiative was the part of a broader strategy to strengthen leadership at all levels and ensure the preparedness for future healthcare challenges. Now, whenever you are starting a particular development program, then definitely it should go from the top to bottom, and these strategies are leadership levels and ensure the that preparedness for the future healthcare challenges are there in this particular case study. So, this focuses on the what are the gaps in the leadership skills among our current management team is there. So, as we have seen that is there is requirement of the continuous monitoring, feedback and a technological development amongst the employees, which will be giving a feeling of the development and this job satisfaction. Here I would also like to mention the another dimension in this particular technological development and developing the manpower, that is a remote team management. Involves the supervising, coordinating and supporting a team that works from the various locations outside of a traditional office environment. Now normally people those who are into the office, so they are seen, but this remote team that is the which are behind the scene and that is about coordinating and supervising and supporting team is concerned. So, in the context of the HR, it is crucial for adopting HR practices to accommodate the decentralized work settings and ensuring the management strategies are effective across the all the diverse of the geographically scattered teams are there. So, effective communication is paramount in the remote team management is there, because you have to reach to them, and if you want to reach to them or your message has to reach, then definitely in that case the communication plays a very important. So, HR professionals need to implement the robust communication tools and protocols and ensure the clear, concise and frequent interaction among the team members are there. So, it might be possible that is there are certain communication barriers, but then this team has to take care, the leader has to take care and ensure that is the clear, concise and the frequent interaction is possible. Now, this includes using the right platforms for the video calls. So, you can have the video calls in the evening or the late evening, so that the person can share with you the expenses and choosing the right platforms for the video calls, the chats and the project management software, and that suits the specific needs of the team, and therefore, whatever the issue or problem is there, that problem will be solved with the help of this remote team management. Adopting the performance into this management for the remote teams involves the continuous monitoring and the evaluation of individual performance without the advantage of physical oversight. So, HR must develop fair and transparent method to measure the productivity and here this whenever we are having this continuous learning environment, then continuous monitoring is also equally important because when continuous monitoring will be there, you will get that feedback and you will understand that is the where the support is required. So, HR must develop that fair and transparent method to measure the productivity and provide the regular feedback through virtual one-on-ones and the performance reviews are there. This fostering a strong company culture, a learning culture. And therefore, we talk about whenever that learning organization that will be maintaining the employee engagement in a remote setting are significant challenges. HR strategy should include initiatives to create a sense of belonging and community, such as the virtual team building exercises, online social events and recognition programs that highlight the achievement of the remote employees. And when you are going for this type of the programs where you are having the online social events and recognition program, then definitely that belongingness that will be developed. Remote teams requires the targeted training and development programs that cater to the unique challenges of the remote work. HR should focus on the digital literacy, self-management skills and virtual teamwork capabilities. Additionally, the continuous learning opportunities can be facilitated through e-learning platforms and the virtual workshops to ensure the team members. And these are the up to the date with the relevant skills and industry knowledge is there. Here, I would like to take this particular case study of the Omnitech Solutions transitional to a permanent hybrid work model post pandemic. However, an internal survey revealed that many managers felt unprepared to deal with the nuisance of the leading remote teams, such as the maintaining the team cohesion and the ensuring productivity. The company responded by the launching a series of remote management training sessions are there. Focusing on these virtual leadership, digital communication tools and the remote employee engagement techniques, and therefore, it is becoming because it is online. So, virtual leadership will be as we have seen in the previous slide that the leadership development is there. Here the candidates, they are required to have that particular the virtual leadership in a proper way, and therefore, digital communication will play important roles, and the remote employees engagement techniques are there. It should be a benefit for those employees, those who are placed at the remote places. The goal was to equip the managers with the skill necessary to lead the disparate teams effectively and maintain the high productivity levels are there. So, ultimately objective is to lead to and develop the maintaining the high productivity levels are there. So, this particular discussion, it answers the questions, that is how effectively are our managers meeting the challenges of managing remote or the hybrid teams are there. As we have discussed in the previous slides, that is the how these remote teams, the management that will help to get the managers to meet those challenges or the changes which they want to make at the organizational level. Now, here we will talking about the commitment to the lifelong learning is there. As I mentioned, that is learning is a continuous process, and that is organization culture, and that is why many learning organizations they are very effective and sustainable. So, the lifelong learning in HR refers to the ongoing voluntarily and the self motivated pursuit of knowledge. So, as we say, that is knowledge levels. So, knowledge levels are also there are the 5 knowledge levels are there, and these knowledge levels we are talking about, that is the how it is going to be the aspects of that is the K level 1, L1 and L2, L3, L4 and L5. So, therefore, in case when we are talking about this the self motivated pursuit of knowledge is there. So, it will start from the L1, and this journey from the L1 to the L5 that for the development of the both the personal development and the professional reasons are there. This will be the continuously lifelong learning, and because the reaching to the this particular aspect of that is the how you are going to make these particular changes, then definitely from this level to that level it will be always an issue, and here it is required, that is the you are making this particular circle of this knowledge that kind of continuous development, it will be throughout the career or throughout the life, and therefore, in adopting these rapidly changing business environments that will be maintaining a competitive edge in the HR field is there. As we have seen the journey of the HR which has been started from this how it is going to be the development from this knowledge level of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the HR department, from the personal department to the then the HR department and the HRD and human capital. So, this competitive edge which is it will be developing that particular HR field unless and until there is a commitment to the lifelong learning is there, then there will be no development in the personal growth also and in the professional development also. So, this commitment to the lifelong learning that which helps to the HR professionals stay up to date with the latest trends are there. Like we are talking about these technological changes. Before these technological changes, there was the issues of the talent acquisition and talent management. Before that, there was the issues of the leaderships and team building and human capital creation. So, like this simultaneously, when we see, that is the labor laws and the labor laws that has been changing, the labor code is there, then the technological changes are there, and therefore, now when we are talking about these your manpower, your workforce from working from the remote places, that is a work from home. So, naturally in the human resource management these up to date challenges that and to meet those challenges a high level of commitment is required. and that commitment will drive you towards the continuous education, and this includes the formal education. That is why you find like these NPTEL courses, thanks to the government of India, that they have given this opportunity to learn the many courses in the different areas, and as a result of which the executives they are having this continuous education, then naturally the certifications are received, and there are many other the workshops are there, and the many industries and academicians they are organizing their own workshops, and these are the seminars that refine their skills, and they keep under training development programs in the industry itself. So, therefore, they are refining their skills for the strategic planning, legal compliance, because in the new labor laws zone, labor code, then it becomes that is the we have to learn, that is how we will be making the legal compliance, and when you are talking about the circular economy, and then in the circular economy the role of HR. So, naturally it will require the high commitment, and this high commitment will be with the lifelong learning, that will be through these all type of these the coaching, mentoring, teaching, and supervising the feedback system, and which will ultimately increase the employee engagement. So, as HR technologies evolve, such as the use of AI in the recruitment, analysis and analytics, normally we talk about these application tracking system ATS, and therefore, in that case when you are talking about the recruitment and developing those keywords, because we have to ensure that is the right candidate should not be filtered out. So, therefore, in that case in the case of these AI applications in the recruitment and that making it this particular analysis in performance management is there, the modern techniques are there, the traditional techniques are gone. Now, the many organizations they have gone from the 360-degree to the 720-degree of the performance appraisal. That is not only with the peers, subordinates and colleagues, but also with the customers, suppliers, vendors, and therefore, it is the all circles which are involved in this performance management system, and therefore, that analytics and that analytics which will be professional must learn to adopt these new tools to improve efficiency and effectiveness in the hiring is concerned. Similarly, when we are talking about the training and development, so in training and development also, like these online trainings are there, then definitely in that case you are making the use of this particular type of this learning, where the your manpower is getting developed, and otherwise there was earlier there was a challenge, that is to send the employees to there at the learning place, and the employee will remain away from the work home, and as a result of which the efficiency of the organizations was affecting. So, therefore, in that case we have to understand that is the how we can provide the training, what type of the training, so that they are having the development, and when the training and development is there, that will be retaining your talent also, because they are satisfied, unless and until you are not getting the job satisfaction by the employee, and there will be no point in the organizational growing only, because ultimately the people will be leaving, and therefore, if the employees turnover is high, it will be challenge for the organization for its sustainability. So, HR professionals play a critical role in fostering a culture of learning within an organization is there, and how to create this lifelong learning environment within an organization, so that the people they keep on learning these organizations. By modeling the lifelong learning, and they can encourage employees to pursue their own learning paths are there. So, it is not that is the only the trainees are learning. When the trainer is working on this particular training, then definitely he also learns so many things. And like I would like to take my example, and therefore, in that case when we are talking about this particular course, then which is new in the HR department, and the new practices are to be evolved, then definitely in that case this type of this understanding and learning for us also is becoming very important too, and then we have to develop our own learning path, and thus enhancing the overall organizational knowledge and adaptability, and as a result organizational effectiveness. So, it is not the individual's knowledge only, it becomes knowledge hub. any organization, when it becomes the knowledge hub, then there will be the collective wisdom, and this collective wisdom will take them to be more and more adaptable with the society. Otherwise, what happens? Those even the academicians, those who are working on this, the flexibility and adaptability, they are not flexible, they are not adaptable, and as a result of which the whatever has been taught, it restricts to the books only, and there is nothing, the skill development is there. So, a commitment to long learning can lead to the better career advancement opportunities for the HR professionals, and by continuously acquiring new skills and the knowledge, they are better positioned to take on the leadership roles within their organizations, and this will be making them the influencing the strategy and the business outcomes, and whenever this continuously acquiring the new skills and knowledge, when it is making them in the better positions, the organizationals, the strategy and organizational business outcome, that also improves. Here I would like to take a one case study. And the Greenfields Corp noticed a trend of the stagnation in skills and knowledge among their management team, with minimal participation in the professional development opportunities. To counter this, HR implemented a new policy linking the part of the annual performance review scores and the promotion criteria to participation in the continuous learning activities. Additionally, the company introduced a learning management system LMS that provides access to the online courses, webinars and certification, encouraging managers to engage in ongoing professional growth and align their expertise with the latest agriculture and innovations. So, therefore, here when we are talking about the expertise with these the latest agriculture innovations, then definitely we will be able to develop that particular development of the overall learning management system, and which will be through the courses and webinars will be encouraging to the managers of the organization for the developing the agriculture's new practices. So, therefore, it answers about the that is what is the current level of managerial engagement with continuous learning and professional development. Now, you see that is the here with the help of this case study, we have understood the agriculture based industries, and your industry may be different, but the focus will be the remaining same. That is, whenever you want to increase the level of management engagement with the continuous learning and professional development, then you have to see that is the what you are introducing as a content and your employees what they need, and as a result of which that continuous professional development will be there. So, working togetherness, learning together, and therefore, as a result of which you will be able to provide that particular aspects. Finally, I would like to come towards the change management skills, that is the what we have talked about so far. So, we have talked about that the leadership management, we have talked about the remote team management, we have talked about the developing the technology, we have talked about the digital marketing and all of these are the examples of these changes into the technology and developing the manpower. So, these are all HR aspects and that will require to develop the skills and ability, knowledge, attitude, skills and ability, and that is a case model is there. And in this case model which I have developed with the help of the ICSSR, and that is about the knowledge here, that is how with these changes you are able to manage the knowledge, you are able to manage the ability, you are able to manage those skills, and here I have added and that H, that is about the habit. So, therefore, when you are talking about this developing within the human resource, naturally you will be making them changes with the human resource with their cache, knowledge, attitude, skills and habits, and these include understanding the need for change, communicating it effectively and ensuring smooth transitions while minimizing the resistance is there. Because all of us know, as I was talking about that is the we have that understanding of how we are going to develop this resistance to change. and everybody, if maybe because of the social reasons, economical reasons, political reasons, legal reasons, or the technological reasons which we are talking about, they may not be like to change. So, therefore, in that case it becomes important, that is the you are going to make this particular change, that is the how you will be going to adopt this the transition for the minimizing the resistance of the changes there. So, change management skills in HR involves aligning the organizational change initiatives with the overall strategic objectives of the company. Now, we have to communicate to the employees, the stakeholders, those who are going to be affected, and then we have to talk to them and then tell them about that is what are the overall strategic changes are required, because one side there are the organizational goals. Organizational goal is to get the ROI, and that ROI will be possible only when the all employees in the changing time, in this transition period of the technology, and they start working togetherness and contribute towards the organizational goal. So, overall strategic objectives of the company that has to be focused. This requires a deep understanding of the business landscape. Unless and until you do not understand, that is what are the different steps are there and what are the trends are there in the organization. Maybe the tree plants are organizations are there, maybe these the stores or e-commerce are there. So, everywhere there is required a deep understanding of the business landscape, and when you understand the business landscape, you can little bit concern with the industry trends, and because they are going to be the impact of the changes on HR processes and the practices. So, once these type of the trends are coming, the changes are coming, naturally one day they will be having the high impact on the overall industries for which we are supposed to be ready. So, relies heavily on the strong leadership and the communication skills. As I mentioned in the previous also sessions, that is about the leadership management. Unless and until you do not have the strong leadership, you cannot make these changes, and because for that purpose there is a cohesion is required, there is understanding is required. Unless and until you are not accommodative, the HR leaders they will not be successful, and therefore communication skills and HR professional needs to inspire and motivate the employees through the period of change. Here I would like to mention about the Levin's model, that is unfreezing, and therefore you talk about what are the need of these the particular changes are there. So, unfreezing is there, and then you are making the changes or establishment in the changes, and there is a refreezing. So, therefore, in that case it becomes important that is the this Levin's model of the unfreezing, making them the aware, that is why this change is required to inspire them and motivate your employees and make them ready to change is there. This will be important aspect. Then the action plan, and then your action plan of change that will be also will be opposed, because the people resistance to change and they are not comfortable with the change because of their economic and social reasons mainly. So, therefore, and then we are talking about the technological learning. So, the senior employees or the employees working for a long time, they may not be that well accustomed to the technology. So, naturally in that case there will be the resistance, and then resistance will be overcome by motivating them and making the part of your team. And with also fostering open and transport communication channels to address the these concerns and the solicit feedback. So, in change management skills entail the actively engaging with the various stakeholders, including the employees, managers, executives, external partners and so many others. So, HR professionals must understand the needs and perspective of the different stakeholders to garner the support for change initiatives, and the negative potential resistance is there. So, when more and more you will interact with your employees, better you will be understanding that is what are the different support or change initiatives are required and for the potential resistance. Given the dynamic nature of the business environments, HR professionals need to possess adaptability and flexibility in their approach to the change management. So, in change management that is very important is that is about this the modes that formula, that is the flexibility, adaptability and the sustainability. So, more you are flexible, adaptable, you will have the more productivity and sustainability, and this involves being the responsive to unexpected challenges, adjusting strategies to needed and continuously learning and evolving to stay the ahead of the curve is there. Here I would like to take this particular case study. So, Vista Retail Group faced a significant upheaval due to the changing consumer behaviors and the rapid shift towards the e-commerce is there. Now you see, this is a very important and relevant case study in the today's context, because when we are talking about the e-commerce and changes in the lifestyle, this case study becomes very relevant. The employee recognized that in managers were struggling the proactively and that it's they have to make meet these particular transitions, and to meet these transitions it is often reacting to the changes rather than the proactively the managing them. So, in this company you find, and which is common in many organizations, that is about there is a resistance to change, and whenever there is a resistance to change, then definitely it becomes very difficult, that is the how to cope up with this particular change. So, here in this particular case study we find that is to address this of the issue, the Vista Retail Group organized a series of change management workshops led by the industry experts, and the industry experts talk to them that why there is a need, that is called the unfreezing, what I have talked about in the Levin's model, and therefore making them aware that there is a need of change. If you will not change, then definitely in that case you will not be sustainable. So, therefore, these workshops are to be organized so communicate the change, and these workshop equipped managers with tools are to anticipate market shifts, effectively communicate changes to their teams and implement a new strategy smoothly. So, therefore, what they have done? So, managers they have changed themselves, their style of functioning has changed, and therefore, they anticipate after this shift marketing and effectively communication change to their teams and implements that particular team, and therefore, in that case these teams development strategy smoothly. This initiative aims to transform the company's approach to change from reactive to the proactive and enhancing the overall organizational resilience is there. Many organizations, those which are proactive, then definitely like this AI application, and they are proactive, so they are able to manage their business, while many organizations which are not proactive, then as a result of which they find difficulty to perform and to sustain. So, here it is important, that is a company's approach to change from reactive to the proactive, enhancing and the overall organizational resilience is there. So, this case study also helps us to understand how do our managers handle the change management and what can be improved while making this particular change management. The next concern is about this adopting the technologies, the diversity and the skill inventory. So, the diversity and skill inventory refers to the systematic process of the identifying and cataloging the diverse skills and bringing them together, developing the competencies and cultural backgrounds of the employees within an organization. And this practice is aimed at the leveraging a wide range of talents and the perspectives to enhance the organizational effectiveness and the innovation. By maintaining a thorough skill inventory the HR can strategically align workforce capabilities with the organizational goals. So, naturally who will do what job, and this alignment is crucial in areas such as the project management, leadership development and in the team composition, ensuring that the right mix of the skills and backgrounds are making the more and more utilized to the optimize the performance. An effective diversity and skill inventory helps in the crafting the recruitment strategies that are inclusive and unless and until your inclusive leadership. So, inclusive leadership means that is you are including all your followers and attracting the candidates from a variety of backgrounds. Now, diversity and in the followers. And so when there is a diversity in the followers, then your inclusive style of leadership that will attract them, and because they are coming from the different backgrounds, but you want to include everyone, so that is the you are giving a message that is the you are socially acceptable here, and you are having the safe norms. Additionally, it supports retention by recognizing and utilizing the unique contributions of the all employees, and thus creating a workplace where the diversity is valued and all employees feel included are there. So, this particular inclusion leadership style which with of the people with the effective diversity and skill development, that will definitely help to meet the organizational goals. This inventory which is a diversity and skill inventory, because every employee, he is having the different knowledge and different skills, and this when you are making the awareness and identifying this knowledge and skills, and this inventory is instrumental in identifying gaps in the current workforce, the abilities and the planning. So, therefore, when you are planning and for the future work, it helps the HR to tailor the training programs that not only address these gaps, but also promote the continuous professional development and adaptability among the employees. The diversity and skill inventory to KA2S strategic workforce planning helps the organizational prepare for the future challenges by understanding the existing diversity and capabilities within their workforce. And the insight allows for the better forecasting of the hiring needs and the development of the succession plans that promote the diversity in the leadership roles are there. Here, I would like to take this particular case study, that is a global tech innovations. A leader in the tech industry faced the challenges in innovation and the global reach due to a homogeneous management team primarily skilled in the traditional software development. The HR team conducted a complete comprehensive skill and diversity audit and highlighted as a talk of the expertise in ranging technological like the blockchain and the significant education of these women and the minorities. In response, Global Tech implemented targeted hiring practices to recruit experts in the new technology and increase in focus on diversity hiring. They also launched the mentorship program aimed at fostering the diverse talent within the company, aiming to reflect the global market they serve better. So, this case study basically, that is the giving this influence of the what is the current composition of our management team in terms of the skill, experience and the diversity, and we, as we have seen, so with the help of that case model also, knowledge, attitude, skills and habit, that is the we have to develop the skills of the employees and understanding the experience, what line experience they have, what type of experience they have. So, many employees, they might be very senior, but having the different experience, so they can, their knowledge can be used in the different directions, and the diversity is there. How many these gender diversity there is there, how many is there, the financial diversity, and therefore we have to consider all these aspects. This demographic alignment involves understanding the composition of the workforce in terms of the age, gender, ethnicity and the other demographic factors, and strategically aligning the HR policies and the practices to cater to these characteristics. Organization, if the young organization is there, so normally the employees may be younger in age, and when we are saying about that is a change in the organization, when we are talking about the leadership development in the organization, so the both will be challenging. So, therefore, change in the organization, because the young people, they may not be that qualified, and therefore, in that case there will be the facility or structure to make them the more and more effective. And other demographic factors, for example, the gender is there, and companies in India, there you will find that is the female gender, that they are having the so many social responsibilities, and therefore making them for the training program, developing that for the adopting these new changes, that will require a very high strategic aligning. And when you are having the high strategic aligning with the policies and the practices to cater to these characteristics, this alignment will help in enhancing the employee engagement and reducing the turnover rates and the improving the organizational performance. It is crucial for HR professionals to develop the cultural competence to effectively manage a diverse workforce. As in the earlier sessions I have talked about, it is a continuous learning culture, and when any organization which is having the continuous learning culture, then they will develop that particular competence. So, to develop the cultural competence to effectively manage a diverse workforce is there, and therefore, the every employee will develop and require some time to develop this type of the understanding of the different cultures, which can help in them mitigating the conflicts and enhancing the teamwork across the diverse group. Demographic alignment affects the talent management practices, including the recruitment, retention, development. HR must ensure that the talent management strategies not only attract the diverse candidates, but also provide the equitable growth opportunities and a supportive work environment for all the employees. Now, aligning the HR practices with the workforce demographic is also essential for compliance with the legal standards concerning the equal employment opportunities and anti-discrimination laws. Ethical practices in managing the demographic data and respecting the privacy are vital for the maintaining the trust and integrity within the organization. These by understanding the demographic trends and making alignments, it will be critical for the future workforce planning. HR professional needs to forecast the future demographic changes and prepare the organization to adapt to these changes by developing the flexible and inclusive the HR strategies. Here I would like to take this particular case study, that is EcoWear Apparel, a sustainable clothing brand noticed a discrepancy between the demographics of their management team and their predominantly the millennial customer base. The management was predominantly male and over 50, while the staff and market consisted largely of the younger diverse workforce. To address this, the EcoWear undertook initiatives to promote the younger staff members into management roles and actually recruited female and minority leaders. This strategy was designed to better align the product development and marketing strategies with the perspectives and value of the target market. And here in this particular we answer about these particular questions, that is the how does our management team's demographic breakdown, that is about the age, gender, ethnicity, that compare with overall the workforce and the target market is there. By understanding this type of the aspects, we will be able to manage these demographic variations. Now, whenever we are talking about the strategic succession planning, which is referred to the proactive process of identifying and developing the potential successor for the key positions within an organization, and this ensures that the business continue to operate smoothly even as changes in the leadership occur. It aligns with the long term business goals and mitigate the risk associated with the unplanned departure of the key personnel. Succession planning must be closely aligned with the overall strategic objectives of the organization. HR professionals work to identify the skills and the roles that are critical for the future growth of the company and plan to develop the internal talent that can sustain the business strategic direction. A core component of the strategic succession planning involves identifying the high potential employees, that is hypos, who can grow into the leadership roles. So, development program tailored to these individuals might include the targeted training, mentorship, rotational assignment and the leadership development initiatives to prepare them for future roles. So, as a result of which we will be able to develop our talent to take the responsibility for the future. Here I would like to take this case study. The Atlas Manufacturing, a family owned business, lacked a formal succession plan for the aging management team, and this risking business continuity, and the company developed a succession planning process that identified a potential leaders from within and provided them with the specialized training and mentoring the programs are there. Each key management position had at least two identified successors who are ready to step in, and ensuring the leadership continuity. This planning also involved regular reviews and updates to adapt to the changing business needs and the personal developments. So, question arises, the what succession planning measures are in place for the key management positions are there, and we can understand by appointing this key personnel and is under the succession planning, the organization will be stable and continuously will grow. And these optimal staffing balance refers to the strategic alignment is another issue for these the alignment of an organization's staffing levels to its operational and strategic goals. It involves having the right number of employees with the right skills at the right time to achieve the maximum productivity and effectively while minimizing the labor cost is there. Methods to achieve an optimal staffing balance include workforce planning, latent management and the strategic role of the outsourcing and congruent workers. And these techniques help in adjusting the workforce in response to a fluctuating market conditions and the business requirements are there. HR professionals use various tools and metrics to maintain the staffing balance such as the turnover rates, productivity metrics, software for workforce analytics and so many others. These tools aid in making the informed decisions and about the hiring, training and potential downsizing, that is about their functions or the expansions based on the data driven insights are there. I would like to take this case study of these health bridge medical centers conducted on the operational review and found that while the administrative management was overstaffed, they are understaffed in the clinical management and which hindered effective patients care and the operational efficiency. To rebalance the team, the health bridge reallocated resources, reducing the administrative roles and significantly boosting the equipment for the clinical management positions. They also introduced the cross-training programs to ensure managers could over multiple roles doing peak and improving their overall efficiency and the responsiveness is there. So, here it addresses the question, that is are there areas within the management team that are the staffed or they are the understaffed. So, therefore, we can understand what is the requirement of the staff we are supposed to place. So, this is all about the whatever these technological integrations in HR resources we have talked about using digital tools, software solutions to manage the employee data, optimize recruitment process, enhancing workforce planning and improve the overall organizational efficiency. These includes the deployment of HR information systems, applicants, tracking systems and the advanced analytics. Thank you.